Thank you very much. My name is Freeman. This time I'd like to ask all veterans, please stand, please. If you're a veteran, please stand. I want to thank you for your service. One of these folks here will be here tonight. Thank you very much. I had the opportunity to serve as state commander of DAV and working with veterans. It was my job to take care of those folks. Now it's my time to come home and take care of the people of Piedmont. I feel like they need a mayor that's got leadership, he's got backbone, and he's got guts. He's going to stand up for the people of Piedmont. I know we've been talking about negatives and everything else. I attend a lot of meetings with FEMA, and all I hear is about how bad Piedmont is, how they've been got in trouble sometimes. Voice my opinion how I feel about people from Anniston and all talking about Piedmont. I want to say also to the candidates, I appreciate looking forward to work for you. I appreciate these guys here, and I'm going to tell you something. The people running for office, a lot of people ask why. Those people have guts. They want to stand up for you. I appreciate your vote and hope to be your leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Good evening. My name is Tony Williams. I don't have a lot of the candidates said, I've been born and raised here in Piedmont. They use that as kind of a platform of knowing Piedmont. I can't say that I was born and raised here in Piedmont. I went to school here, high school, grew up here as a kid, went off in the military, stayed in California for a while. In the military, I was able to travel the world, been to 7 different countries, been around big cities, little cities, and I've seen what's out there. I've seen what Piedmont is capable of. And it's time that Piedmont starts taking some pride in what you have here. I feel that I'm kind of getting an outside view of Piedmont looking in. Piedmont has a lot to offer, but we need to clean Piedmont up and get it to a point where we can start attracting some people and businesses in and homes in, getting our property values raised, where that we can compete with other areas around us. Let's take some pride in Piedmont.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Morrison.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brent Morrison. And the first thing I want to say is, I've heard a lot of negative talk about Piedmont tonight, but I'm very proud of our city, and I think you are too. And we've got 2% of the people in this town that are trying to make the other 98% look bad, and I don't think that's right. I think we got a great town. What about y'all? I'm running for mayor because I love this town. I've got 29 years of experience, almost 4 now as a city council member, 25 years as city clerk, and my main job as city clerk was managing the money of this city. Now, all during that 25 years, we had bond issues, and we still have bond issues, and we have debt, and we're going to always have that. And we can pay it. I can tell you now it can be paid, but if we want anything for our children, we have got to spend money.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison.
Thank you.
Okay, our format for the Q&A session is the same. Each candidate will receive 2 minutes to respond to each question. Timekeeper is going to give them 15 seconds on. Questions are going to be specific or to the panel as a whole. We'll try to go that route to get as many questions in as possible. So here's our first question. As mayor, what are your top 3 priorities for Piedmont? Mr. Freeman.
Our top 3 priorities, and really some people may think that, we need to prepare for disasters. We've been talking about our infrastructure, our power. We have one big disaster, we're through. And FEMA has cut out a lot. Jobs is another thing too. I've had the opportunity of working at the DAV office to make point of contacts. Our schools of technology, that's one of the selling points. We have a bunch in Enterprise, Alabama now. It's very interesting to come here with a technology outfit. They have signed the biggest contract with NASA. I hope the 29th, I'm on my way down to Enterprise to talk to them. So there you have preparedness. We're getting ready for disasters too. Getting jobs here. And 3, like Brent said, we need to get our morale back in our thing. We got to start at the bottom with our city employees, get the morale back there and make things work. When you come into towns and you see, fire plugs with grass around them, you got everything like that. We need to turn things into positive. When you start doing things like that, it is kind of tumbles. Everybody wants to do that. My priorities would be preparedness. Make sure our public safety people, when Chief Tibble's got a man out there, he's got what he needs. When our fire department's out there, Captain Ledbetter, they've got what they need. The rescue squad's got what they need. because that's your first line of defense. Then your jobs come in. When you got things like that, you got your schools, your public safety is strong, industry is going to look at that first thing. So it'll be your public safety, your jobs, then come back and get your appearance and morale built up in your town. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Williams.
Top 3 priorities. Jobs. That's one of the biggest things I think we need right now. We are in tremendous debt, and for those of you who aren't aware, some said that they weren't aware of the debt. We're $25 million in debt, and that's just with the bonds. We need industry, we need businesses. And so that's my top priority, is to get businesses and industry in here. Second one, in order to do that, I've been a police officer here for the last 6 years, driving these streets 12 hours a day and seeing, houses falling up, businesses or buildings, empty buildings that are run down. We need to get the town cleaned up so that we can attract those businesses in. Again, that's a big priority. We've got to get, Piedmont's a great town, but it needs some work. If you were to drive around the way that I've driven around and see how run down a lot of it is, then you'd understand where I'm coming from. And I don't think that we're going to get a lot of the businesses and industry in here that we need to until we clean it up and give them a reason to want to come here. So, jobs, revenue, and get this debt paid down, and clean up our town.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Morrison.
$25 million?
Yes, sir.
This, my friends, is the audit report from September 30th, 2011. Our debt, and I'll read it to you, is $13 million. $13 million some odd dollars. $13,250,000. What he's doing is adding the interest over the next 30 years and telling you that it's $25 million. It's $13 million. $4 million of that belongs to the school, which is paying their debt on their bond issue. And the other $4 million of it, the other next $4 million is money that we refinanced from the past administration, which we had no choice but to do, because it was a debt that was already owed when we took office. So we've got about $4 million in indebtedness that we own in the general fund. And we also have about $2 million to $3 million worth of utility debt to improve our utility system, our water, gas, and sewer, and our electrical system. We have to keep our plants, our utility plants, in operation and in good condition, because none of us want to go without hot water or electricity or any other utility. We got to keep our system up. So that's the truth about bond issue. Number 1 priority, jobs, industries, and business. Number 2 priority, I guess it's hard to really get past that, because number 1 is just number 1 out there by itself. It's got, and it's so important, it's by itself. Number 2 is clean up this town. I mean, clean it up. And clean it up well, because we're not going to get any business in the industry if we don't clean it up. Number 3 is public safety. Got to have strong public safety. We're already 2% below the state average in crime, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Okay, we're going to zero in on one subject area. Let's talk about cleaning up Piedmont. Let's be more specific about how we're going to clean up Piedmont. Mr. Freeman. Okay, we have a bank law that tells what needs to be done. And I think our biggest problem is we don't enforce that law. What we do, we may enforce it on an 80-year-old lady in her yard and things like that. We got other businesses that are grown up. This law needs to be equal to everybody. There's no cut to chase to it. If you're not involved in that, you need to clean up your place. Years ago, when we first started this, we found a lot of elderly people that could not clean up their yard stuff. Each district got a committee, and they all got together with churches, organizations, the scouts, different groups. They went to these people and helped clean their yards up. That's what we need to do again. There's a lot of people who can't afford to clean up your yard. I know I was in the lawn service business for 18 years. I know many times Brent called me about going to do people's yard. We do it to them for free. That's what it all takes. We got to work together to clean this place up. Yes, we got a law. We need to enforce it. Don't give somebody, you know, my buddies are not getting a break. I got news for you. If I'm elected, you better keep your place up. There's not going to be any, well, we'll let you slide. That's what's been our biggest problem. We've enforced it for some, let some get away. No, it's going to be 100%. You're either in or you're out. If you're not out, there's ways of going through it. You go to public health, you go to the fire marshal, you go to other places. We got buildings downtown that are pathetic. You know, they say, why am I doing? I don't like the city. Well, you're selling or get out, one to two. That's what I'm doing. We've been up here, we were up here a while ago negative. That's what's wrong with this town. We need to be positive people and do some things right and quit grabbing about. You know, we got the greatest football field complex. Yeah, we might not have made a big deal. Well, we can take and making it positive now. That's it. And we can clean this town up and be positive about it. Hey, I'm proud of our town. I'm proud of my thing here. And I, y'all, hey, you let me, I'm going to bust my rig and get this place straightened out. Mr. Williams.
I have to say I agree with Mr. Freeman on all of that. We've got to get this town cleaned up. We've got to enforce the abatement program. It's already there. We just need to enforce it. We've got to stay on the business property owners that own properties that don't live here in Piedmont, that live out of state and elsewhere. We've got to get them to clean their place up. Like he said, get rid of it, get out, whatever we got to do. But we also, the ones that are here and that do live here, we need to find a way to help them to bring their buildings up to a more of a modern look. We need to, you know, Piedmont has got to move forward. We've got to stop living in the past. Cottonville's gone. We've lost Springs. It's time for Piedmont to move forward. Let's get whatever we can to help, you know, some of the business owners to bring their buildings up to more of a standard of today. Cleaning them up, whatever incentive that we can do to help them to better their business, better the buildings so that we can fill them. A lot of businesses are not going to want to come into a run-down building. We need to get them cleaned up, and we need to do whatever we can to help those people get those buildings cleaned up so that we can get them filled with businesses.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Morrison.
Abatement takes a plan that is carried out on a day-to-day basis. And the only way it's going to work, and we've got to start on it already, Councilman Stutter has already initiated an abatement board, and that's a good start. And to follow that up, I think we're going to have to look at the council members looking in each district that they're assigned or elected district where they're elected, and find the areas that need to clean up and turn it into the abatement board, and then systematically go through that list on each district and work through it and until we complete it. And we've got to do it on a continual basis over and over again and make this town presentable and make it beautiful. Because industries, businesses, big business people come into this town, they see weeds growing up around curbs and in corners where you turn the corners at red light. They're going to turn them off. They're going to want to just drive right on through this town and go to the next town. And I know James Bennett and some of the leaders of Alabama Power have told me that actual story actually occurred one time when they had a recruit prospect in town. Not this town, but another town, where they came in, saw the weeds all grown up around the curbs and around the gutters and all that. And they actually said, I don't want to stop in this town, I want to go to the next town. Because they can't take care of their streets and their roads and their sidewalks, I don't have nothing to do with it. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to have that attitude, positive attitude, and clean this town up, and it doesn't matter who it is, no favoritism to anyone. If it's me, send me a letter. Or if it's these two guys, send them a letter and clean it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Now, along the same lines, believe it or not, we got several questions about this next topic. And it's going to sound frivolous, but it's really important to several people. So here we go. And it's kind of in the same vein of the cleaning up Piedmont. Okay? What are the plans for cleaning up stray pets? And would you consider a pet registration and license in order to generate revenue?
I'm probably an expert on that. Charles, where's Charles McDonald? Charles still here? Charles, and they come to my house all the time. I got 4. That's our police in our neighborhood. You know, the rest in charging people to have pets, no, not to do that. To me, a pet is part of your family. I feel like, yes, we need control. I know Charles can mind, if you get in our neighborhood, if Chief Tibble and them not able to patrol our dogs, take care of that neighborhood. But, you know, that, yes, they need to be patrolled, yes. I think they do an outstanding job. I know we've got some complaints, some run wild. But register them to make money, no. They've tried that before and it doesn't work. We can generate revenue a lot of other ways, and I hope we get into that here in a few minutes. But as far as animal control, yes, you need to take care of your own. As far as registering, no, I don't see that. And I feel like, you know, animal control does an outstanding job. I know they've been to my house, gave me a letter, told me what I needed to do and things like that. But as far as, you know, making them pay for tags, things like that, no. Because to me, my pets are my family too. So hey, I don't see doing that. And you know, if you do that, how are you going to police it? It's just going to take more revenue. We're going to have to hire somebody to do that, and that's just going to take us more than we'll be doing something else.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Williams.
But as a police officer here in Piedmont, I can't count the number of calls that we've had on dogs running astray. I understand that, you know, some of them are going to get out. They're going to get out of the pen, they're going to get out of the house, they're going to run. But I personally have witnessed dogs all over town not on leashes. This needs to be enforced. We need to enforce the leash law more and keep the dangerous ones off. Just being out campaigning, walking by somebody's house with a vicious dog on a chain and worried about whether or not it was going to break the chain and come after us, because I have no doubt that if it had got off the chain, it would have eaten us up. No doubt. The other problem is cats. You see stray cats all over. I've driven down the road and just see a pile of them, 5, 6, 7, on the side of the road that don't belong to anybody because, well, whoever has the cats and they have kittens and they just let them go or they take them off and dump them off in another neighborhood. So we definitely need to get a little better hold on the animal control.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Morrison.
Many years ago, we attempted to license dogs, believe it or not, and it didn't work well. I think we had a $5 license fee or something like that. Dog, we didn't have any cats. Dog, we had very few people even bought a license. It's not a revenue source, believe me, it never will be. We have laws against dogs running loose. We do not have laws against cats running loose. It's impossible for an animal control officer almost to catch a cat unless he's got a trap. And you know, the only thing that I can say about that is, you know, we just gonna have to work harder on trying to clamp down on catching the stray animals that are out there, making sure they have the proper vaccination tag on, and if they don't, we need to pick them up. And I'm sure Charles is doing the best he can do in that area. And we don't get a lot of complaints about that, and if we do, we try to specifically address those to Charles McDonald, and I think they're being pretty well taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Okay, now we're going to dive back into some serious economic issues. That seems to be the most important thing. What is the best way to attract businesses to Piedmont?
Well, the best thing to do is to, like we've been talking, I heard the council, market yourself. I've had the opportunity the last 4 months to do a federal investigation on some veterans groups in North Alabama. And I've got to travel those small towns and see how they market themselves. Each one of them has little pamphlets that tells everything about their town, about their plumbers, who cuts grass, who does everything. That's one way. You know, the other thing is to make sure that you're out here selling yourself and, you know, being positive about everything. To see how they have done things in their town. They have gone back and just took and they're just like our town. I think I looked at Hartsville. They're on the same setup as we are. I mean, the downtown area. They took those buildings and done some things that are beautiful. And they, you know, they may not have the mom and pop shops in there. So that's some things like you do like that. You just do simple things like that. We can sell ourselves. You know, they're talking about the internet. That's great. But when people, I noticed in that little magazine, they had every area around, even Spring Garden, the Rock Run Christmas parade was in that thing. We need to get out there and put our name out there and tell them what we got here. I was looking at the Tappan Creek Lodge is in that magazine. So those are there everywhere. And you'll visit these people and talk to them. And on the industrial part of the house, I had the opportunity to sit down with James Gray, who's at the Coleman Chamber. He's over the county commission there. He said going eye to eye. Yes, we can hire somebody to do that, and they did the same thing. They spent $70,000 and didn't get anything. I was fortunate to go in to meet with some of the officials from Japan. That's how you do it, folks, going face to face, eye to eye. If you send somebody selling your town, they don't know what you got. They ask you about a building, well, they've got one. You need to have the information with you when you're there to give it to them and tell them what you got and be positive about it. But that's what I'm saying. You got to sell yourself and you got to be there and do it yourself. That's what I said. If I'm the mayor, I'm going to go. I've dealt with the governor before with the VA, and I know how to get the job done there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Williams.
We've got to be better than the other towns around us. Simple as that. We've got to take pride in Piedmont. I said Piedmont is a beautiful town. If anybody's seen the cards that I've had printed up, the view that's behind me, that's Piedmont. That's how beautiful Piedmont is. We've got to clean up the downtown part of it and the residential parts of it. Excuse me. Piedmont has a lot to build on. We have a lot to offer. We've got the best high school in probably the nation. But I know we have the best high school in Alabama. So we can attract with the things that we have to offer. We've got the bike trail, the bike trail that we need to market. We need to market our high school. We need to market our historical part of Piedmont. We've got a lot to offer, but it's about marketing. And like Mr. Freeman said, we've got to get out there face to face and talk with these business owners and industries. I understand we have to go through the Montgomery to get industry in here, but we've got to get down there in their face and stay in their face and get Piedmont to a point, cleaned up to a point where we are the best and we can say this is what we've got to offer.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Morrison.
We've got 450 cities and towns in this state, and 67 counties, and guess what? They're all vying for the same thing, and industries and business. And if you don't stand head and shoulders above the rest of them, you're not going to get any attention. And so we have to do something that puts us head and shoulders above them. Now, we've got that one thing that puts us head and shoulders above them, and that's the school system right here. It's better than any school in the state. We've got to play on that. We've got to play on that, and we've got, in my opinion, nobody on the city council or the mayor, in the past, the mayors have had the knowledge, the know-how, the experience to be able to go out and recruit industry. That is a ability that's learned. And we have got to have somebody in here that can have the contacts, make the contacts, and then when the contacts are made and we get an opportunity, that's when we take the mayor and the council members and whoever else wants to go to meet these people or bring them in. And when they come in, we show them our good side. We show them our school system, which is, as somebody said earlier, is the most important thing we have to show people when they come in here. And that's what they're looking for when they come in. Where are their schools, where are their kids going to school, and what kind of system do they have? That's what's important. But it's a proven fact that mayors and council members and even city clerks don't know anything about recruiting business and industry. We got to have a professional to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. All right, it's time for our last question of the evening for our mayoral candidates. What would your administration look like, and how would it be fundamentally different from previous administrations?
Like I said, I had the opportunity to work in Montgomery, and I want to add something to it. When you go down I-20 near Pell City, there's a $327 million nursing home. We recruited that. I kind of felt like we had the opportunity to do things in the governor's office. They can tell you, when I used to go in there, I didn't leave to get until I got what I wanted. So, I feel like I can recruit, and I can, but we'll be another day. The question you asked, the thing I do different, what I did in Montgomery, I took over an organization that had a lot of problems. And they told me, it's like they said, what do you want to run for mayor for? I found out the morale was terrible there. The first couple of months I was there, I sit and watch what went on. I got everybody together on a Wednesday. I said, we had a meeting on Friday. And they thought, he's fixing fire High Falls. No, I sat down and we talked about the problems we had. I know our city workers, a lot of time they're kind of scared of the same thing. Folks, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to have an open policy. They're going to come in on Fridays. We're going to get together at 1 o'clock. Every department, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about our problems. They're going to be able to come to me. I don't care. We're not going to put up the snitching or anything else. They're going to be able to come to me and talk, and there ain't going to be any repercussion to it. I want those guys and gals, when they come to work on Monday, say, thank God it's Monday, I'm going to get to work at Piedmont. That's what it's going to be. Ever since I've been here, everybody's been scared to open their mouth. Well, I've got news for you. If I'm elected, they come talk to me that I need a repercussion. That's what it's going to be. I know how it is when you're under a gun. Those people, and Dale Marsh can answer this. We went to the governor's office, and he was talking about what all they did to VFW, American DAV. The DAV brought $727 million back pay last year back to the state of Alabama. And a good portion of it came to Piedmont. So that's what it's going to be. We're going to have that relation on that Friday. We're going to get there in every department. We're going to sit down. We're going to iron it out. If we got a problem, we're going to take it right there. It's not going to be the yang or anything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Under my administration, we're going to have a proactive council. We're going to have a proactive mayor. We're going to get out here. We're going to be a part of the community. You're not going to see us right now, and then you don't see us for 4 years until re-election time. We're going to get out here. We're going to be involved in the community. We're going to be involved in the businesses. We're going to go and do ribbon cutting ceremonies for businesses that open up. We're going to have an open door policy of coming and talking to myself and not hide, in a back room somewhere, keep ourselves hidden from here. I will be out in the public and available for you to talk to. And ideas that you have, I encourage you to bring those ideas forward. Not saying that we're going to get to do every single one of them, but I'm sure that you guys have ideas that I may not have. We need to hear those ideas. Like I said, we're going to be a proactive administration.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Morrison.
Our citizens of this town need input into mayor and city council's decisions. And the only way we're going to get that is to establish communications, better communication. And the way I plan to do that is to have advisory committees in many areas. We need advisory committees for water and gas. We need advisory committees for our industrial development, our commercial development boards, the people that actually could provide the incentives for our business and our industries. We need to meet on a regular basis. We need to bounce ideas around. These would be people in our community that were willing and able to help. The mayor and city council is by no means all knowing, and we've got to have the help of the public. We need to have at least once a quarter. We need the people from the different boards of the city, the school board, the industrial development board, housing authority, all of these people from the industrial world, our heads of our industries that we still have, get together, have a breakfast, just sit down and talk, see what their needs is. Don't wait and react after they've made an announcement that they're going to be leaving town. Let's just meet with them, every quarter and make sure we're meeting their needs of what they need. And then we're going to be proactive instead of reactive to what their concerns and needs are. We can't wait because it can be too late if we wait until they announce something in the paper, like I said. So we got to get more people involved, volunteers that we ask to serve on these various committees can really make us a better town and make us, knit us into a tight group that will be, as I said, they'll be concerned citizens and they'll be actively involved in what we're doing. And that's always good when you've got the citizens involved. Thank you.